What's going on, family? Listen, I want to dive into some of the excuses we use as people, not even just as barbers. And I didn't want to give you an edited version of this. I want to give you real, raw transparency because I want you to understand who I am, what I'm about, and who is this man that stands behind this chair. It's more important to me for you to understand who I am so I don't have to always wrestle with what I'm supposed to be doing, or should I be like this person, or they have more of this than I do, or they have more opportunities than I do. The biggest thing I want to talk about today is excuses that we make. How many excuses have you made this year? How many excuses have you made this week? How many excuses have you made today? I know personally, I won't just speak to you. I'll just speak about myself. I've made some excuses. Sometimes I even get to a point to where I can be so overwhelmed or so frustrated, or I have something that's set in mind that I would like to have, or a certain outcome I would like to have. But because I've created that goal and I've set that goal and I've put a date on it and I put a time on it, and that expectation is my highest priority, and then it doesn't happen the way that I expected it. I wasn't prepared for the emotions, the disappointment in my emotions, and then it's hard for me to manage that. Now I go into isolation mode. Now I'm not capable of producing on the level that I'm usually capable of producing on because of a failed attempt, because of disappointment, because of the excuses that I've used. I've used many of excuses to say why I'm not doing a certain thing. Many excuses to say why it's not important for me to have to do all of those things. It looks like they're only doing this. Why do I have to be all of that? Do you get what I'm saying? I wrestle with those things at times. So let me give you an example. So something that I've wrestled with, an excuse that I've given myself time and time again over the years is, oh, well, I couldn't do it because, my kids had this, or I had to do that, or the job wanted me to stay over, or, nobody came in to help me out, or I didn't get the proper information. I didn't get the insight. I didn't get the guidance. I didn't get the coaching. I didn't get the mentoring. So I can't do that. I can't invest into myself. I can't do that. It's too much for me to have to do all of that. Does it really take all of that? No, I don't really have to do all of that, do I? And I'll talk to myself like that. Now, what's crazy is usually I'm the only person in my ear on a day-to-day basis. Not that I never have anyone to help encourage me or motivate me. My wife is a big encouragement and motivation to me. Some of my family, mother, even my own kids at times can be encouragement, can be motivation to me and for me. And then guys that I watch, Dr. Miles Monroe, Myron Golden, Michael Todd, Stephen Furtick, TD Jakes, Dr. Darius Daniels, Prophet Lovey Elias, and so on and so on. Just so many different people that I listen to, podcasts that I consume, Social Proof podcasts. What else? Dear Future Wifey podcast. I try to listen to things that motivate me and push me because I don't always have that person in my ear. Sometimes I'm my own strength. Now, don't take it wrong by me making that statement. I do understand that God gives me the ability to be able to do the things that I'm doing. It's God that gives us the ability to be able to go through and grow through the things that we're growing through. But what we need to do is stop making excuses, you all, because guess what? No matter the excuse I made, people were still expecting what you told them you were going to produce. So we have to get out of this place of being get out of this space of creating this thing or having this finalized image in our mind of what this has to look like, what it's going to turn out to be, how it's going to work out, how it's going to look, the timing it's going to be on. Like you have all of these very specific things that's going to happen. But what I've learned in life is it doesn't always go that way. Sometimes God doesn't allow it to go that way because you would have told yourself that, oh, it's because of me. It's because of the things that I've done. It's because of the consistency I've had. When really, you've made a lot of excuses this year. You've made a lot of excuses this month. You've made a lot of excuses today, Jonathan. Today alone. Do you really think you're the sole reason for the accomplishments you've accomplished? Do you really think you're the sole reason for being able to produce on the level that you produce on? No matter that level, stop making excuses. What I found out is people don't care anyway. Everybody's going through something. Nobody cares about your excuse. Even when you told them even when you gave them the excuse in your mind, have you ever wrestled with the fact that, man, I just lied to them? Man, I've been disappointed myself. Why do I keep making these excuses for myself? Why do I keep giving myself a way out? Why won't I just do what I told these people that I would do? And forget other people. Why won't I just stand on my own word? Why won't I produce on the level that I told myself I'll produce on? Because it got hard? Because of some difficulties? I've always said the quality of the person determines the quality of the business. The quality of the person determines the quality of the experience of your business. Your personal brand is oh my God, our personal brands in business is extremely important. People buy into our brands, not just the products and services we sell. So today, I want us to stop making excuses. This is the no excuse zone now. So if you're with me, if you're standing on this message, if you believe in this message, if you can see a piece of yourself in relationship with me, if you can see a piece of yourself in the mindset that I find myself in quite often, if I could be truly honest with you, because as much as I try to motivate myself and push myself and work through things, I'm not always in higher energy. I'm not always in the best positive mindset. I'm not always talking to myself in the most positive ways. Sometimes I get so overwhelmed and make so many excuses to where it's like, man, you start to believe the excuse you made, even though it wasn't even true. And maybe you did lie about a certain thing, but the excuse wasn't the real reason why you couldn't produce what you said. No, we have to stop making excuses, y'all. Stop making excuses. Nobody cares. Everybody's going through something. So if this message was for you, I want you to tag a person, tag a friend, tag a family member, tag a barber, tag an entrepreneur you know. Because the quality of the person determines the quality of the experience of your business and your personal brand. So if this message was for you, I want you to tag somebody. I want you to share this with somebody. I want you to drop a comment below and let everybody know what you took from this message. And now what you're going to do to apply yourself in your day-to-day walk to now start growing through these growing pains. Because sometimes your mindset default might be, let me fall back on what I used to do, what I used to say. What do you mean fall back on what I used to do and used to say? Well, when my coping mechanism has been made to be an excuse, I'll fall back on an excuse. I'll make sure that I say something that's so relatable, something that sounds so good and itchy to the person that I'm saying it to, that they'll believe me. They'll have sympathy for me. They'll have empathy for you. Let me tell you, they don't care. And even after you said it and they told you, yeah, I get it, I understand. No, they really didn't care. They really don't understand. Because at the end of the day, people only care about what their issues are and how their issues are going to be resolved. They'll give you from time to time some input on what you're going through, but for the most part, everybody prioritizes themselves when it comes to hard things they have to face. And when you can't produce on the level that you said you will produce on, and you start making excuses, that becomes an issue. So let's stop making excuses, y'all, and let's produce on the level that we told ourselves we'll produce on. All right. My name is Jonathan Edwards, and I'm checking out of here. Let's go.